Tara, welcome to another installment of Vodacom Diski Chat. We are coming to you from the Vodacom Hospitality Suite here at Loftus. This is where you get to watch the finest footballers in action in fine style. My name is Tabi Sotima. It's good to have you with us, and I have got two very special guests with me for this week's chat. Let's introduce them. Shall we say what? By order of age? Before beauty, man who absolutely needs no introduction to the Buccaneers fans, an absolute legend of the club, the first man to make 400 appearances for Orlando Pirates, and a man who I think this weekend was the happiest Jele in the world. Good to have you with us. Happy, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm great, man. I'm great. It's good to have you with us. And alongside him, we've brought him home. He is on his home ground, Pretoria boy through and through. This is where it all started for him. And from Pretoria, went to Kaizer Chiefs, of course, became an absolute fan favorite, and even had time to go stateside in the US. This is George Lebese. George, good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me, Mr. T.
Right, chaps, let's get right into it. This is perfect timing coming out of the Big Cup final in Durban. As I said, you were the happiest, Jele, I'm sure, with the result. A tough one, though.
Yeah, it was a tough one, but the guys did well on the day. You know, they managed Sundowns very well until the penalties, and obviously our goalkeeper Chen, he was the hero on the day. Yeah. So he just saved three penalties. So.
Yeah. Geez, that is some heroic effort. There's no way you can deny somebody who saves 3 penalties the man of the match award, and so it was. It was double heartbreak for you, George, because it was 2 of your former clubs that just didn't happen for Kaizer Chiefs out in the semis, and then Mamelodi Sundowns in the final. What did you make of it?
I think, from my side, I think Pirates deserved it. You know, they've been working very hard on their game. They're improving every season. They're getting the trophies. So it was a very difficult game against a good side. So they put in a good shift.
It was a pity though, because in a lot of ways it was a bit of a anti-climax, because the conditions on the day made it very difficult to play football. I mean, playing football in that wind must be so difficult.
Yeah, it was very difficult. You know, as a footballer, you don't want to play in such a weather. You know, but I think Orlando Pirates and Sundowns, they did well. They tried to manage the game very well, even though we didn't want to go to the penalties. But you know, the game take you there sometimes. But I feel like Pirates, the way they play the game, it was proper. Like Joe said, they deserve to win. You know, Sundowns, they've been winning games and winning trophies. But at this point in time, the coach did well. The plan, strategy, the structure, from the first minute until the last minute. You know, the tactical with substitute, everyone. You know, they did well. You know, they deserve to win the game.
You've worked with so many Pirates coaches. I mean, in your career, there was almost 16 years you spent with the club. What do you see that's different in terms of his approach? What do you think he's gotten right that has managed him to get 3 trophies in a row, success so quickly?
I think the way you manage the players, you know, sometimes he takes out players in the 60 minutes, he puts another one. You know, he tries by each and every player to play the game to manage him for the fitness. You know, I think the rotation is very important. You can see the gel with the team that they've played each and every game. You know, the previous game he puts other players, in the other games he put another players. So there's a gel. You know, the connecting with the team is very important, and that's what he does right for the team. And I feel like the work effort with each and every one.
It was so close. I mean, George, as I say, I'm in the competition right through. I mean, from the semi-finals, from a Kaizer Chiefs point of view, you lose by the narrowest of margins. What do you think Chiefs would have taken out of their run in this competition?
I think they showed up. They worked very hard. They executed everything well. I think it was unfortunate for them because there's a couple of calls that could have been made for them to go to the final. But with the squad and the new coach and the squad getting to know each other, I think they put in a very good effort in trying to reach the final or winning that trophy. But it was very unfortunate. I mean, the penalty in the last minute, they're in the final, and playing the final, it's a whole different ball game. So it could have happened. But Sundowns made it to the final. They put in a good work also because it wasn't easy playing against Chiefs as everyone else thought. So, yeah. And also, I mean, Pirates have been doing well. They're keeping a very good squad. The coach, you know, for me, the success comes from everyone being happy. It's not about the 11 players on the field and playing. I've spoken to a couple of guys from Pirates and I haven't had a complaint from anyone. So it means the coach is doing a very good job by keeping that squad happy. Because if we are both players and we understand not playing, then I start to talk behind the back. I have my own group and negative stuff. But all of that is not happening. That's why Pirates is getting the success that they're getting.
Yeah, I think that's an element of coaching, or a coach's job, as we call them here in South Africa. Of course, that's why in England they call them managers, because it goes beyond just coaching and tactics here. But what is a success top 8 tournament at the start of a season? What does it do for the rest of the season? I mean, you were part of a double treble winning side. I mean, you went on to win. You won the MTN 8 in both seasons and went on for bigger things. So it can be a springboard. It didn't quite happen the last time you won the MTN 8 with Pirates. It didn't lead to the kind of success that you would have hoped for.
Yeah, I think winning this trophy, it set the tone for the season. You know, it takes each and every one in the team, from the one that came in and the one that they've been playing in the team for the previous season. It shows that we have to believe, because we can still win trophies. So it sets the tone for the season. If you remember last season, Pirates won the MTN 8, and after they played well. They qualified for the CAF champions. They were number 2 on the log. So it set the tone. So now it shows that they can win a league anytime. It's, for me specific, they are the team that needs to compete.
Yeah, it's definitely started. And from your point of view, how do you kick on from this? Where does it take you?
I think for me, it's only 2 things. It sets the tone, like Happy's saying, and we, as players, you get hungry for more success, or you become complacent and say, we've won a trophy, we've done our part, and you start losing. And so I think it should inspire the players to, let's go for a treble. Let's put our names on the history books. So that hunger is what's going to keep Pirates being successful. So hopefully, I know there's a couple of leaders in the group that will install their mentality and they keep going and going and going.
Yeah, they'll look to make their own history, emulate the class of 2010 and 2011 that won the treble in successive seasons. And yeah, as George says here, there are plenty of leaders in that group that can achieve that. All right, that is that. Then the first piece of silverware in the cupboard for the Buccaneers this season. And now this season, there's 3 cup competitions to play in. Of course, there'll be a new tournament as well launched in that will be played on the format of the League Cup, but more on that at another time. But let's now talk about, after all this, now comes the international break. You've just won a cup, you're buzzing, you want to go again. And now you have to have this 2-week break. What does that do to players?
I think it's two-sided. Sometimes when you win a trophy, it's nice to go back and play again. Sometimes you want to refresh yourself, celebrate the moment, and come fresh on the next day. You know what I mean? But at this point in time, I think for Pirate, it happened at the right time. The previous games, obviously, they didn't do well. They need to start and refresh and do their homeworks. They won the cup. They need to build from there. For the next 2 weeks that they want to prepare for the league, they're going to be in a good tone because they've refreshed, they want something, the spirit is high, they take it from there, and the next game is going to be different.
And I mean, speaking of international break and international football, from a club point of view, it would have been a bit of a disappointment for Pirates. I mean, you know very well that this is the trophy that the chairman cherishes the most, the Champions League. Yeah. That's the one he cherishes the most. So it would have been bitterly disappointing to go out as early as Pirates did.
Yeah, it's very disappointing, obviously, as Pirates. You know, they need to compete for each and every cup in the continent. You know, but I think it's a lesson for them.
And then just from an international point of view, getting away from club football, maybe if things are not going so well, maybe that's exactly what you need, this break.
I think for Sundowns side, they can't wait to get back and play again and rectify what they've done wrong. I'm sure the management and the players can't wait to play again, and I think it's a good break for Pirates, having won the trophy, to just calm down and reflect on the journey and get that hunger back again. But like I said, for Sundowns, surely they can't wait to play again and actually, because right now with the international break, everyone is going to be speaking about Pirates. They've won the trophy. Some of the Sundowns players can't even go to the shops. It's a problem, because now you have to answer to what happened. Why didn't you win? So yeah, I think it's just both sides. It goes both ways for both teams.
And if you're a Kaizer Chiefs, like I said, if you are struggling, maybe the break sometimes is what you hope will recharge. You work on things on the training ground.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of work to be done there. Surely the management knows. So I don't think they'll be taking much of a break from what I think that's going to happen. They're going to be working on their tactics and how style of play and all of those things. It's good to have a break from their actual games, but I don't think they deserve that break. They should be pushing and get the team back to where it's supposed to be.
I mean, how much? The thing is, there's so many changes. You've got a new coach. Okay, as a group, you might say they've had the same kind of technical team, because Munifinseki's been there, and of course Dylan and Arthur have been there. But all those changes, then that means also needs time to change things. They've changed new players in key positions as well.
For me, also with I don't believe in this co-coaching and a lot of coaches happening that's been going on, because it's different ideas and sometimes it confuses the players. But we've seen it work at Sundowns with the 3 coaches, and so with the management, hopefully they align with the plan and how they want the team to play. Because for me, what I would like to see is just the style of play. I don't know how are they playing now. I don't know where the goal is going to come from. It's just, it's a goal. It's a corner kick goal. There's no style of play. There's no way that this player has the ball, then he's going to look for what pass, or it's not happening. So hopefully now it's a good period for them to fix that.
Yeah, style and identity is what you're looking for.
It's just a mess. It's just playing, let's go. There's players that show on the day. I mean, the player that I like, Dupe, he's working his socks off. You can see his heart in it is in it. So he's gonna be exhausted this whole season playing like that. So this break is also good for him. Yeah.
All right, so then, I mean, once they come back from international break, they enter into a very hectic period. I mentioned by then the new Black Label Cup will have been launched, so there'll be those matches. And as we head into the Christmas break as well, it means there's intense pressure in terms of DStv Premiership matches. This is where now Happy squad depth will be tested. So a squad like Pirates is going to come in handy. All those players that we've been thinking, I forgot about him, he's there. This is where you're going to see them.
Yeah, I think Pirates got a depth. That's why you find there's alternative players that plays. Sometimes they don't play. They've got a group of good players, and they know how to manage those players. So now when they're going to compete in Confed and a lot of cups that are coming, they will manage. I think they will cope.
What is the approach though? Because the one that I think Pirates would also now want, you've got, yes, it's great, you've got the MTN 8, you've retained that trophy, but it's the league. Sundowns have had it all their way for the last 5 or 6 years. That's the one that I think they'll want. What is it going to take, George, to beat Mamelodi Sundowns this time around?
It's what you're saying, the whole squad, and sometimes it becomes difficult for a player. You haven't been playing, and then you've been put in to save the team, and it becomes difficult because you need time to adjust when you haven't been playing. So for Pirates, I think they're the closest they can challenge Mamelodi Sundowns. For me, I think it's Pirates. They can give them a good run. Yes, it's the squad, but keeping the squad fit, keeping the squad happy and willing to play and fight for the league with so many competitions you mentioned. It's going to be a difficult one. It's not going to be easy. They have the squad. They have a good squad that can do that. But again, management.
You're talking squad, and I've heard a lot of Kaizer Chiefs fans who have said to me that no, the problem is not really with the kind of players that we've got. There's just something else. Like as individuals, I mean, that squad, I think you could rate those players, I think, amongst the best, maybe, in the country. There's quality there, surely. But how far would you think Chiefs are, or should their focus be in this season?
For now, the focus should be I don't see them winning the league. So qualifying for Champions League, because now there's a lot of appetite to be in that competition in the whole country. The whole teams, they want to be in that. So I want for them to qualify, focus on that, and perhaps getting a trophy. There is a lot of competitions. Get one trophy and keep a good position in the log. So I think that's as far they can challenge, because if I'm going to say winning the league, that means they have to beat Sundowns, they have to beat Pirates, which are good, and for some odd reason they struggle with the so-called smaller teams. Getting the results, it's not consistent. So the league is out of reach. Champions League, it is a possibility. And a Nedbank Cup, something. Yeah.
There's at least another option of a trophy that they can compete for. From a Pirates point of view, we've already spoken about the squad depth that they have. But, George mentions an important word, the C word, consistency. Sometimes you Pirates, they almost seem like they go on a run of good results. And then you have this patch, like just before the MTN 8 fighter, where they were even struggling to get goals.
Yeah, like the letter C is very important, consistent. It's very important, that's why sometimes the people that win the games are the one that's staying behind, not the one on the field all the time. They are the one, because the one that are stay behind, they need to push the one that are playing, and they need to be happy, like George said. Everyone needs to be happy. So consistently, if the guys that are on the bench are happy, they can push the guys on the field. So it's very important. So for me, the consistency comes from the people from outside. So I think if they have that thing, then they can win.
So how does and you can tell us with your experience in terms of when you guys played, when you were playing and you guys played continental football, when you played the CAF competitions, what's the best approach to managing the squad? Because there are going to be players that maybe you're going to rely. Do you split your squad to say this will be the core of my squad for the CAF competition, and this is for the league, or do you have to maintain consistency again, even in your selection there?
No, you maintain the whole group. The whole group, you have to maintain it, because you'll never know. Sometimes Happy can be injured, and what is going to happen, So you need everyone on the team, train the team for the specific game. You select the team for a specific game. Each and every game is very important, because once you play for Orlando Pirates, or the biggest team in South Africa that compete in the Champions League, you have to play. No matter what happens, you have to play. So for me, put together the squad, make the team happy, manage them very well, and everyone needs to compete for a position.
I think that's what Pirates try to do, to divide squads and say, with the final also in mind, and I think it's not a good approach. It's not a good approach, because what if they lost the MTN8? They lost both cups by having two different squads, and you just play whoever's fit, whoever is ready, whoever is coming out, someone else will. That's it. Keep a good squad, rotate with obviously other competitions in mind, but keep the core squad. Who would like to play must play, because if you change players and now other players haven't played together, and then now Pirates is out of CAF. So,
and just in terms of the running into the league, as I said, now if you are Sundowns, you are playing in 3 different competitions. So with the League Cup coming up now, the Black Label Cup, as I mentioned, if you're Sundowns, you've got 3 competitions running at the same time: League Cup, and you've got Black Label Cup, and again.
There's no complaints.
But
they
can
compete. It's not the same as Chiefs.
So there's not an excuse.
No excuse.
No excuse. They've got a lot of players in Sundowns, so they have to compete if they want to compete.
Yeah.
But then also there's a balancing act. You sometimes hear even supporters talk about no, let's focus on the league. Or you've already mentioned Chiefs should maybe look at picking up a trophy. That'll do a lot for, I'm sure, the squad and
confidence.
Yeah. So, but again, if there's no guarantees here that if you're focusing on the cup, you're gonna get it.
Focus on every game coming, the next game. It shouldn't be about what is and who is resting, and no. The next match, we win the next match. The next match, who is resting? Maybe 2-3 players come in. The next match, you can't. Every competition is important, especially to the fans. They want to win something. They're so eager. Chiefs supporters want to win something and just have something to talk about. But now, what are they talking about?
Yeah, it's been a painful period.
It's been.
sometimes-
I think the last time they won a trophy, I was still playing.
Yeah. Well, that's true, because we're talking now.
And that's,
serious.
that's,
Yeah,
that's
2015?
for
that would be,
a
yeah.
team like Chiefs. I mean, come on, it's very disappointing.
And no doubt, that's not just the pressure that is coming from the fans or pain that is felt by the fans alone. Even now, you can tell players and management will tell you that they are feeling it as well. So, chasing this league now, Pirates are now in the situation where they've got games in hand. But we know how tricky that can be, especially when you're chasing a team like Sundowns, because you've got games in hand and but games in hand is not points.
Yeah, it's not point, but it's an advantage sometimes. It's a matter of how you're dealing with it as a team. I remember when we played and we were playing a CAF champion and we were behind. I think that time we were competing with Kaizer Chiefs, running the league. I think it was very difficult, I won't lie, because they had points, we didn't have points by that time. So we were chasing. And while you're chasing, there's too much desperation. You're not playing the game in a very well. So you're playing the game with your heart, with your mind, everything, because you want to win. And sometimes you have to relax, play the game the way it comes. So it's an advantage, it's a disadvantage at the same time. So it's how you handle it as a football player.
I heard you saying you become desperate. You're bound to make a lot of mistakes. There's someone that wants to spoil that for you to say, you're not catching up, we're going to beat you guys. But it's good being at the top and you're looking down like, are you guys competing there? So I don't prefer chasing. It's good to take a lead and just be calm, focus on your game and just lead throughout.
Making sure you keep that focus and what is the mentality that goes into the remainder of the season, which, as I said, you're literally going to be playing games every third day or so.
I think for a player, when come from a player's perspective, you want to do well. For me, I want to do well for me. I can see the team is struggling, so the best thing I can do is put myself in a position to be a regular starter for next season. For the season after that, the coaches might change. Well, you never know what happens. So for me, it's just every game I play for me. Take the tactics and whatever the coaches say, but I want to do well, because the supporters also after the match, they pinpoint, this one didn't play well, but you should be that player that everyone says he deserves to play, So for a player, I think that's what they need to focus on, because the team is struggling, and I think it's that period where there's drought, so things maybe will change.
Yeah, and for you, Happy, managing your own mentality, your own discipline, of course, there's also that thing, also playing in the back of your mind, I want to stay fit, I don't want to get injured.
Yeah, as a player, you want to stay fit, but like George said, play for yourself. Maintain, perform each and every game, because you don't know. The coach always change the tactics. So whatever that it does, at least you are there, because you never know. Sometimes George will come and replace me. And then what happened? One game can change. So it's a matter of you maintaining yourself and perform each and every game.
And when you do come out of a team and a team is playing out, you get injured and you're out of the team and there's so many games coming, it's hard to get back in.
Yeah, it's very hard, because if the team does well, then you stay out for the rest of the season. And one thing also, it's an advice to players. Every end of the season, the management together with the coaches, they sit down, they review who was performing. You don't want to be that player that they want to put on sale. So it's always that, like, you need to play with that at the back of your mind to say, at the end of the season, I need to look at my performance and say, I did well. So you're not put in a position where they're going to make changes. Chiefs doesn't win trophies, they want to make changes, we want to bring players. Then they look at who is there, what did you do? Then they sell you, or they terminate your contract. So it's for you at the end of the day.
I must get your thoughts, gentlemen, as well about Bafana Bafana. They're going to get into a very important period now where they're preparing for the Africa Cup of Nations. People are sick of us talking about the class of '96. Something's got to give. This time around, Happy. What have you seen in terms of Bafana Bafana squad, the way it's looking at the moment?
At the moment, I think Bafana is doing great. The past 4 or 5 games. They've been doing well. They've won the games. So I feel like they're in a right track, with the coach, technical team that they've been doing, selecting the right guys that are performing each and every games for DSTV League. I think it's good. So we just have to support them, we just have to support them because it's a new generation that comes in, new players. So let's support them and see what. Now they qualify for AFCON. So one positive thing that they've done. So let's support.
Yeah. George?
I don't know. I have mixed emotions about that.
About Bafana in general, or about the makeup?
I don't know. I'm just maybe my expectation is that we as a nation we need to be in a high level. We need to be competing against those countries that are winning every trophy. But I feel like we've been building for far too long. Building. I think we have the players, we have everything, infrastructure, but we're just not getting there. Like it's just becoming stagnant. We are building, and I don't know.
So for you, nothing less than going all the way to a final.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
there is the players. I don't know, but we'll see.
Is your bar as high as George has said it?
My bar is high.
Yeah. Like all or
George,
nothing.
let's support the guys.
No, the support is there, but we
need
can't,
to support the
turn a
guys,
blind eye that we, as a nation, what are we doing?
1996 is a long time ago.
Oh, come on. And we have the players, we have everything. I mean, I'm supporting Bafana Bafana, but I'm not going to be unrealistic about what's happening.
All right, and then to wrap it up, DSTV Premiership, as I said, will be the next focus, and the Cup as well. Can Pirates' class of 2023-2024 emulate what you guys did in 2010 and 2011?
Yeah, I think now they need to work on treble. Last time they won 2 cups, so now they need to push for DSTV, maybe one of the cups, Black Label or Nedbank, and they can do it.
George, you have already said you don't see Chiefs taking
The league, no.
but a cup.
But a cup, I would like for Pirates not to take a treble, for Chiefs to have something, a trophy, something for the fans to cheer about. I mean, it's been far too long.
Absolutely, yes. George Lebese and Happy Jele, 2 legends of the game in South Africa, 2 crowd favorites for their respective clubs when they were playing. It's been great having you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for spending some time with us and checking out another installment of Vodacom Diski Challenge. We'll be back again soon with 2 more greats of the game and 2 more of those players that you love to hear from. And so until the next one, see you then.